What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Wakefield FC Road to Glory. So far in our first season in the championship, we have gotten ourselves in a playoff position and we're actually only a few points back of top of the table. So we're looking to put ourselves in a very high class of back-to-back promotion campaigns that would only, I think, rival something that Parma did over in Italy in like 1913. That includes back-to-back promotions that get you to a top level in your country. So this would be a huge accomplishment for Wakefield FC. So let's go take a look at the table and see where we're at. So taking a look at the league table, you can see here that we are in 4th place on 55 points. Tied with third place Watford. They just have a much better goal differential than we do. But and then again, Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, 62 points. We're 7 points back of our goal of winning the league. But still, automatic promotion would be fantastic. Or honestly, as a team that's fresh to the championship, I mean, just getting the playoffs would be a massive accomplishment. So we're doing the right things at the moment. Let's go take a look at the team sheet that's got us here. At the end of last episode, we brought in 3 players in the January transfer window, one of which is getting a start right away in Prince Anning from Borussia Dortmund 2. Because Jordan Sterry he's been doing well, but at the same time, he's starting to slip a little bit. So, or not slip, but he hasn't really grown since then. We'll see. I'm sure he can be using if there's an injury or anything like that. We brought in Rothe on loan for 6 months for the rest of the season from Juventus. We signed McAtee from Manchester City on a permanent deal, and the Anning signing was permanent as well. So at the moment, Connor Bradley has moved over to right back, but with Gordon leaving, or at the end of the year when he returns to Liverpool, I have Connor Bradley training to be a right wing because I believe he has easily the best, tied with Ollie Burke or one better. He has fantastic pace. His crossing ability has actually gotten really good, and his dribbling's pretty good as well. And his defending is a little bit on the weaker side. So if we can turn Connor Bradley into a crossing winger, that he can just look for Ollie Burke, the big target in the middle, that might be something moving forward. So I think he's only 2 weeks away now from completing that. So by the time we jump into the highlights, he might already be playing right wing. Taking a look at our youth academy, we've added a few players from the Brazilian scouting reports. This guy down here, Diogo Cabral, with great potential. He's already a 68 overall. So he'll maybe be one to look to. We still have Jonathan Wilkinson, who is prized and basically ready to go as soon as he complains. He'll be added for sure. And then we also have Jonathan Johnson. I mean, the potential is high, but the overall is very low. I'm converting him to a winger to see if that helps us overall. But at the moment, we'll just keep an eye on him for now. But yeah, other than Wilkinson, the other promoted youth player spot is still up for grabs, and it should probably be a goalie. So we'll have to take a look at Cabral, but we'll probably have some tough decisions by the end of this video. Now we'll take a look at the calendar and the final 16 games that remain. We have 4 tough games, including Swansea, who are trailing right behind us, I believe, either in one of those final playoff spots or just out. So that'll be a big game. We'll probably start the highlight package with that one. We have a busy month of March that sees another 6 games, including one against Watford and another one against Nottingham Forest. So those are 2 tough teams that are right in the thick of it for this season. Before we have 3 games in April and 3 games in May. That could change because we are still alive in the FA Cup. But for now, let's just jump into the highlights and see where we are. We'll maybe, if I'm free and clear of, I'm definitely going to make the playoffs, or maybe even hopefully, fingers crossed, for automatic promotion. We'll just jump to the end of the season and do that. But if it's coming down, I'm falling out of a playoff spot, we have to win some games. We'll take a look at the table, then jump back into the highlights. But for now, let's go with the first couple months. So first up in this highlight package would be Wakefield against Swansea City. Wakefield opened the scoring when Daffalon would lay the ball off to Ollie Blake, who slots past the The Swansea keeper to make it 1-0. Into the second half, Harry Winks plays the ball to McAtee, who plays it in behind for Gordon, who doubles Wakefield's lead, and that's how this one would end. Next up would be away at Ipswich, and Wakefield still need a lot of points to keep going, as Burke plays it through the ball through to Connor Bradley, who first is saved by the keeper, but then follows up on his own rebound and gets his first goal this season, and it would be crucial as Wakefield win 1-0. Moving over to the FA Cup, we're into the round of 16, and we're playing Middlesbrough. The FA Cup run would end here as this great shot from Hope goes by Nyland to make it 1-0 Middlesbrough, and that would be the final. So the FA Cup done, all the focus is now on the Championship, and next up was a battle at Selhurst Park, where Ollie Blake would be through, and he'd score his second goal of the video package to make it 1-0 Wakefield. Unfortunately, with less than 10 minutes to go, Pobega would slot his penalty past Nyland to make it 1-1, and that is how this game would end. Wakefield would then be taking on Watford, the team who currently sit right ahead of them in the finals, or in the table. And it would be McAtee getting his first goal for Wakefield from the penalty spot in the 41st minute, and that would be the difference as Wakefield take this one 1-0. Currently, Nottingham Forest were sitting atop the table, and they played like it, as Jesse Lingard would score in the 9th minute to make it 1-0 Forest. And then in the 37th minute, it would be Brereton Diaz who scores the penalty pass Nyland to make it 2-0 as Wakefield lose at home to the league leaders. Lastly, we have a game at Norwich, a team that's on the bubble right now for the playoffs, but this is a big game for Wakefield, and they get on the board first as Gordon heads the ball down to Kaya, who makes it 1-0. And less than 10 minutes later, Schneider gets his first goal with some suspect keeping there, but he'll take it, and so will Wakefield as we close out this highlight package with a 2-0 win away. So after all 46 games have been played, we finish where we started in this episode in 4th place. We finished just behind Watford, even though we were able to beat them. They had a couple games in hand, and our loss to Nottingham Forest was actually the difference in them winning the league. So gaining promotion automatically is Forest and Crystal Palace, while Wakefield still have some work to do, but we're in the playoffs, and just giving us a chance for a 3rd straight promotion would be wild. So before we go into the first round of the playoffs, we're going to take a look at how the players performed this season. So taking a look here, we'll go to the stats. Nyland's 19 clean sheets is really something special there. It's funny, he's been going in between 71 overall and 70 basically since we bought him. So he's +1 again in this season, and I think a big reason for that is his 19 clean sheets. Leading the way in goals once again is Ollie Burke, who scored 14 in the Championship and 3 in the Carabao Cup. Afolayan chipped in with 13 in the Championship, 1 in the Carabao Cup, so he was just one back of leading the way for the Championship for our team. Cade Gordon, 11 goals, 6 assists, very nice. Kaya, 6 goals, 9 assists for 15 goal contributions. And as we saw, Bradley got his first of the season, and he's been doing pretty well since switching to right wing, and he's a 77 overall now as we speak. So just in case anyone else led the way in assists, no, it was Naya with 9 assists, so that's fantastic there. So yeah, a really good season. And the last thing we do before we check the calendars, we're gonna go check out our youth system, or our youth academy, because there were a couple players added. As you can see here, we've added a few more players. The one we got to keep the eye on right now is Pedro Lima, who we are missing some players in defense. So this could be a challenge because once Gordon leaves, I'm not sure we're gonna have the money to sign him. Maybe we'll get the money in the Premier League, but in any case, Sterry right now is a 68. Lima's a 67 already, with the potential right now of 77 and 94. Obviously, that's going to come down a little bit, but again, we got to keep an eye on him. Cabral is already a 70 overall now, so that's interesting. These two here, we're just going to... It's because the scouts were leaving. I just want to take a chance on those two, but so far hasn't really panned out. And then another disappointing thing here is Kleber Rice now has come down to 79 to 85. So I think we're going to go ahead and just release him because we have Theo Rogers there, who has basically the same potential, actually 1 or 2 better, but his overall is 10 points better than Rice. So Rogers will be the one to look for keeper. So we'll have to see. So far, so good, and no one's asked for their or they want to tear up their youth contract. So we can save this for the end of the season, which is good. And as we can see here, we have gotten Blackburn. So it's going to be a tough matchup, but hopefully we can see this through. So let's jump back into the highlights. The first leg would be played away at Blackburn, and the only goal of the game would come when Harry Winks would be awarded a penalty in the 37th, and he makes no mistake as Wakefield win the first leg 1-0. Now with the reverse fixture being played at Wakefield Park, Wakefield have that big one goal lead on aggregate, but that would be cancelled out only 7 minutes into this one as Blackburn take the early 1-0 lead. But again, it would be another penalty that would be awarded to Wakefield, and this time it's Gordon who steps up and converts for Wakefield, as the offense wasn't in full flow, but 2 penalties were converted, and it would be enough to see Wakefield through to Wembley and 1 game away from promotion. The playoff finals would be against Watford in this very important game for both clubs. You see there, Watford beat Middlesbrough 4-2. The first chance here to come to Rothe, and he gets his first goal for the club, and what a time to get it as the on-loan Juventus man makes it 1-0. And then very soon after, there's a scramble in front, and Kainas makes it 1-1. Into the 65th minute, Dapo Apollon has a fantastic chance, but an incredible save by the Watford keeper keeps it 1-0. And then the ball would fall Oliver with seconds remaining, but again, the Watford keeper keeps his team in it. Just when this game looked destined for penalties, in the 121st minute, Connor Bradley scores an absolutely huge goal for Wakefield, and it looks like they have just stolen it at the death. And you better believe it, they absolutely did. They were to hold on for the few seconds after that, and Nyland gets a chance to hoist a playoff trophy as Wakefield are going up. So there it is, we have done it, let's go. We've been promoted to the Premier League. Back-to-back promotions in a thrilling final where it looked like it was going to be going to penalties, and then Connor Bradley steps up with the biggest goal of his career and gives Wakefield promotion to the Premier League. Let's go. We'll go ahead and check the board objectives here. Signing 3 players younger than 20, that might, maybe I'll get 2 of the 3 when I check out the Youth Academy next, but it looks like we'll be missing out on that one. Brand exposure completed. Domestic success completed. Financial, it says 4 out of 4 complete, but it's not giving us the check marks. So that might be one of the objective glitches in this year's game, but just elated to be going to the Premier League. Let's go check out the Youth Academy. There is some tough decisions here, but I believe I'm gonna go ahead. I need the goalie. I think we are very thin on keepers, and I think Theo Rogers, even though potential is only 81 to 87, he's a 68 right now. So I think that's the big one. So we'll go ahead and promote him. There's one of the 2, and I think the other decision right now, the center attacking midfielder is actually one of the place we have the most depth with both Kaya and McAtee. So I think, and with Rothe leaving too, we're going to be short at the defensive wing position. I hope I don't regret this, and I have the chance to sign both Wilkinson and Cabral later on, but I'm going to go with Pedro Lima for now. I mean, his potential only 79 to 93. Do I do it? No, I'm going to hold off on him for now. No, I'm gonna promote Jonathan Wilkinson. He's been with us the longest. A confirmed 85 to 91 overall potential. Let's go ahead and promote him to the senior squad, and hopefully at the start of next season we can just sign Lima and Cabral. They won't be upset and ask for their contract to be torn up, so let's only hope for that. We'll go ahead and we'll release all these other guys. They haven't panned out. Go ahead, release, and hopefully these guys will hold off for another 2 weeks and wait till the next episode. So that is where we're going to end this one, guys. Next episode, we'll be going to the Premier League. Wakefield has started in League 2, and we're already going to the Premier League. There will be some positions that need to be upgraded, so let me know down in the comments where you think I should upgrade. If you haven't already, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. And as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode coming soon.